Hey kids, Josh, Claire, Brandon Jr. I don't know for sure that these are your names yet. I probably still have to talk to your mom about that, and we'll probably come to a compromise whenever I meet her and whenever we're picking out names. But I know for sure that you're going to be here someday, and I can't wait to meet you, and I can't wait to be your dad. I don't know a lot. Pride can be a funny thing. I'm sure in like 20 years when you're watching this, I'm going to have plenty to work on, and I'm sorry about that ahead of time. I've got plenty to work on right now. Truthfully, I spent a good chunk of the last 10 years of my life with my nose buried in selfishness. And that came through either in my job or in video games or in even my relationships. Hey, not right now, I'm busy. But not a lot of my last 10 years was spent learning to be a better person or growing. Now it's like, hey, now it's like I'm standing in front of a huge field and there's a whole bunch of horses in the middle of this field, like really muscular, strong looking young horses ready to like stampede, right? And all of these horses are like lessons, like wisdom that I've kind of been avoiding for a while. And they're surrounded by a huge fence, and I'm standing in front of the only gate. And God just decided, boom, I'm going to strike open that lock, and good luck. And all these horses are just running me down. But also, it seems like God's teaching me that I don't have to be afraid of them. And even though they look pretty scary and like they're going to trample me down, I can jump up and catch one and jump on its back and ride it and let it take me to somewhere new, somewhere beautiful. And so I'm trying to make this from a place of that, somewhere of wisdom, where I've learned some intense things that have brought me to this moment. Hey, you're being distracting. You're very cute, but you gotta go. Come on. I know. Come on. Come on. And I can point to the exact moment that God busted open that gate. James 1:5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." So, about a year ago, I asked. Well, I went through a pretty intense breakup a few years ago, and that kind of kickstarted some of it, but it was about a year ago in small group at my church I'm going to right now called City Light, where I realized that I wanted wisdom. And so I asked God in a prayer. And he answered, and he busted that gate wide open. And I've been getting hit with lesson after lesson after lesson. Honestly, again, it's been a lot. It kind of isn't easy learning that you're doing stuff wrong or that you're a messed up person. And honestly, some of these experiences have been pretty painful, realizing I need to fix myself. I need to do better things. And at the same time, it's exciting because it comes across as a victory each time I can mount another horse and break it in and ride it and let it show me where it wants to go. And then I get bolder and braver and readier for the next one. It's almost like after I've taken on the first few challenges, I'm standing there saying, bring it on, let's go, what's next? By now, the time you're watching this, you're probably old enough to have experienced some of the good things in life and some of the bad. And I got news for you. There's a lot more coming. I want this podcast from my living room as a 29-year-old single man to be something that helps you on your journey and maybe helps you tackle a few of your own horses. And you know what? It hasn't been perfect. There have been a few times when I saw that thing charging me down and I tried to jump up on top of the beast and it just bowled me right over and I got knocked back on my butt and I had to stand up, dust myself off, accept some of the pain, accept all the pain, and then just try again. And you're probably not going to get it the first time each time, but that's what I'm going to be there for. So I'm going to do my best to help guide you through it. My dad used to host a radio show. Radio is this thing where you have a little box with a speaker in it and a big metal antenna, and you capture radio waves throughout the air that come out through the speaker, and you can listen to music shows or comedy or whatever. A technology probably way before your time. And my dad used to be a radio DJ and a host on one of these shows. And he used to crack jokes and do this every day for a long time. One of his fans recorded a few of his shows and just like 6 months ago, emailed him and sent him a few recordings of his old radio shows. And he sent them to me, and I got to listen. I stopped everything I was doing and listened to my dad, who's 60 now, but back when he was 26, cracking jokes, talking like an announcer, and this is Gord Driver on the Edge, and sharing just little tidbits. But it was so cool. And I realized that I didn't know anything about my dad from when he was a young grown up. And I kind of wish I did. I also had another moment recently in another small group through my church where one of my friends lifted me up in a really memorable way. He said, "Brandon, it seems whenever we're talking about an issue, you always have some sort of deep response to it, and it's awesome." And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but it did inspire me. Shout out to Zach and JR. And the third thing that inspired me to want to do this is in the middle of me growing, I'm also learning how to invest and take care of myself financially. And so that means I have a side business helping people buy Teslas, and I have a YouTube channel where I make lots of videos all about it. I have a full-time job working as a salesperson for Sunrun, a solar company. And I have some investments and some stocks, and all of these I plan on growing. But I saw a TikTok that talked about investing in your kids in their future. And so I want to start that too. So here's my gift to you, my beloved kids. Whatever I'm doing right now, you have my permission. Go and interrupt me. We're going to get in our hover car or my Tesla, if I still own it by then, and we're going to go to the store and we are going to buy wisdom candy. Now, wisdom candy is very special. You have to understand. My wisdom candy is my road trip candy. And when I was younger, my dad would always have a stash of candy in his office in one of his drawers that I was really good at finding. And he would always stock it with black licorice. And specifically, the brand was All Sorts Licorice. He would get these variations of black licorice that everybody in my family hated. Everyone would say, "Ew, gross, black licorice is nasty." And because no one else liked it, there was always plenty of it. And so I trained myself to like it, and eventually I did. And so now it's tradition for me. Whenever I eat black licorice, I think of my dad. So we're going to go pick out a wisdom candy for you. Something that's unique between each of us. Every time that you're feeling bummed or you're feeling like you don't have all the answers or you could use some wisdom, I want this to be symbolic of you remembering that you're not alone and that you are very loved and that I will be there to help you as long as I can. But also, you've got a wonderful creator who loves you more than you could ever imagine, who also will be there to help you. And even if you don't get the answers right away, don't forget that they will come eventually. Patience is probably one of the hardest lessons I'm working through right now. I love you so much. I'm committed to your success, and I want this podcast to be a compilation of me talking with my friends about wisdom and all the things that I'm learning in life right now. And I want it to be proof of my love to you, and I want it to help you on your journey. By then, I'm probably going to be wrinklier, maybe a little less funny, maybe more tired, but I bet you anything that my love for you hasn't stopped growing. And now let me put myself in the mindset of a dad, and let me try a few phrases for the first time. You ready? Go to bed. Wait, let me say it like you're up too late. Hey, go to bed. Nah, that sounded a little too intense. Hey, it's bedtime. I'll practice it. Go wash your hands for dinner. Or, hey, go practice your guitar. Or go practice your dancing. Or go practice your baseball pitch. Whatever you want to do. Or this is probably going to be a big one. Shh, your mom is taking a nap. Naps are amazing. You'll learn that someday. How is that on a scale of 1 to 10? How much of a dad did I sound like? I'm sure I'll have plenty of practice time between now and then. For the third time, I love you.